Well, most of us have someone that we just absolutely love and that we tend to say goodbye to every day, but we don't know what's going to happen. My next author's name is Eleanor Collins, and the message that she wants to give to you is to love the person that you're with and enjoy being present in that moment. Eleanor, welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you very much.
Eleanor, you wrote a book called The Last Chapter, and I'd love for you to share the general message of what this book is about.
The message of the book is to live with the moment you're in and the love that surrounds you, because you never really know what can happen in the next day. So enjoy your life with the person you love.
Eleanor, I love the world travel that you've done, because as I read your book, it's very rich with experience. You've experienced a lot of people, a lot of cultures, and
Yes,
that's brought you so much wisdom. And
yes,
one of the points in the book is when it comes to, and I think this is true for relationships and war, as you talk about in your book, there's no winners in war. There's when
no.
and even when we're fighting with a spouse or a friend, there's really not a winner. Can you expound on that?
Yes, it's the joy that you have with what you're doing and who you are and what you are doing with your loved one is the most important thing in the world. For you to enjoy, and what you are seeing and experiencing is going to make you better, if that makes
It
sense.
makes perfect sense. I want you to kind of put that in context with your book and what the book is about. Can you get a little bit into the characters and share?
Yes, it's a rich tapestry that goes from the beginning of the 20th century right through to the 21st century, and it covers two families, and what happens to those two families who fought and died, each for their own country and for their own cause, and in the end they meet together and there's love. And instead of hating somebody and going to war with them, whether it be in the battlefield or in the family home or in the business that you're in, it's just the fact that there's never a winner and there's never a loser of whatever you do.
Mm,
And just enjoy what you have.
boy, that's so true. It feels a little bit like the spirit of Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, with a few bombs and plane crashes and all sorts of things thrown in with it. Yes,
A little bit more modern.
yes.
Eleanor, one of the things you talk about is that history is told from this perspective of the victor. What do you mean by that?
What we hear about. Let me go back to. I was in the UK at that particular time, and I was having my hair cut by a German girl. And I've always been interested in the conflict between the two in the wars. And she told me things about World War One and what happened to her family. And I thought, I never knew that. I never knew what happened to the loser of World War One. We only ever hear about the battles that the Allies fought. The
Wow.
Americans, the Australians, the British, and how they won it and what they did. What happened to the people they fought?
Eleanor,
And
that
it,
is so important because we learn
I,
so much from, I don't know about you, but from the things that go hard in my life, I learn a lot more than my successes.
yes, yes, it was something like somebody had thrown a bomb in behind me, and I'd sort of woken up to what this girl's family went through, and I thought, I didn't know all that. I know all the battles and all the Americans and the Australians and the British and all the fighting that they did. Better put in the New Zealanders. And what happened? And, oh, yes, we stormed the beaches. We took them by surprise.
Right.
What happened to those soldiers and the families they left behind? Never hear of it.
No, you don't.
So I incorporated into the book a section with the loser. And it had to be equal sides in the book for the winner and the loser. And I don't concentrate on either. Well, I concentrate on both of them, but I don't make any conclusions about either of them.
That is very wise. How did you come to write this book?
I've always been interested in World War One, nothing else, just World War One. And we were in France at that particular stage. We'd been over to have a look at the Battle of Verdun and stayed over near the border there. But as we were coming back, it had just been announced that the battlefield had been discovered. And I thought, oh, I've never heard of that one. And we decided to go and have a look at it. We got lost trying to look at it. And had to ask the locals where it was. And luckily, Yvonne speaks fairly fluent French, having lived just across the border from them. And four fields.
Wow.
And 5,500 Australian lives were lost on that small patch. And the Germans would have lost just as many. It was overwhelming.
It takes your breath away to think about it.
It really did, because I'm sitting in the middle of a battlefield that's 2 football lengths long, and people were dying all around me. The noise and the death and the screams, and I just,
Wow.
I literally was there. And by the time we got back to Dover to take the ferry home, I'd started the story.
No kidding.
By the time we got back to the UK, I'd fleshed it out and decided what was going to be in it. It was what you call a moment in life, I suppose, that really struck you, that took your breath away.
Eleanor, now it's an interesting combination, because although the characters are fictional, the battles are real. So you're mixing it in true history, but you're making it very relatable with relationships that are tying in.
Yes. And I must tell you very quickly that I know a lady that bought the book, and the next time I saw her, she said, Eleanor, I didn't know Adolf Hitler fought in World War One. And she's a very educated lady. And that took my breath away too. Wow. And little things like that, because that did me just fine, because my hairdresser in the UK actually pinpointed where she had lived. And that was what I took for my book, because it was just perfect. And she helped me out with a lot of the information about the area. But it was very difficult to combine World War One and World War Two and tie the two together. And my little hairdresser in Canterbury was actually very, very important to me. She gave me facts and everything about the Germans. I just couldn't believe it.
Wow.
It was.
Eleanor, we are starting to wrap up, but please, just for the people who are listening, where is the book available?
The book is available on Amazon. I think that's probably the best place to go for it. There's a beautiful scene from the ad with music behind it. It's just very evocative. And then there's also a picture of me with my book. Mm-hmm. So Amazon has all that. If they go for Eleanor Collins or the last chapter, it'll bring them out to quite a few things on the Amazon site.
Eleanor, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very, very much.